Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sana, mrs.perfectly.imperfect.keto, where being perfect is overrated and being imperfect is appreciated. So I have had a whirlwind of a day. Today is day 48 of my triple B&E. I did mention on my previous video yesterday that Fridays are very hectic. So we left this morning at 4:30 to drop my husband off at work, and we're just getting back home at 2:22 p.m. And then we have to head out on the road again and go pick him up from work. So I just want to go through a little grocery haul that I did. I try to get my grocery shopping done on Fridays to get it out the way. That way Saturday and Sunday we can kind of just relax and recuperate from our hectic week. So I went to Walmart as well as Aldi. So at Aldi, I actually saw, usually as you guys saw on one of my videos for how this way of eating could be affordable, I generally buy the big tubes of ground beef from Sam's Club because that is usually the cheapest price for our area per pound. And I would just Ziploc freezer back it in a flat method. That way, you know, once it's frozen and you take it out to thaw, it thaws a lot more quicker and a lot more evenly if you were to store the ground beef flat in the Ziploc frozen bags. So I noticed they had on sale this 73% lean, 27% fat. So it's going to definitely give me a little bit more fat than say like your 80-20 grade of ground beef. So it is still in a tube. I put some plastic bag on it because there were some that were punctured. The packaging were punctured on some of the packages, so the ones that were okay, it kind of had a little bit of blood on them, but that's okay. I just baggied it so it didn't get all over my car or my reusable bag. But I had gotten 2 of these, so this was such a great saving. So this, I'm just looking at the receipt, it was $9.95, and we are talking US dollars. So this equates to per pound, it is $1.99 per pound. So this is a 5-pound. We call them chub. Meat tubes is a name that we used to call them up north. Drop below what you guys call them. I hear some people call them just ground beef tubes. So I'd be interested in your neck of the woods, what do you guys call these chubs or these tubes of ground beef? But this was a great deal at $1.99 a pound. So I got 2 of them at $9.95. Then another item that I got from Aldi is this beef burgers. So it is 100% pure beef. And this is 75% lean, 25% fat. So it is also giving me the advantage of having a little bit higher fat. And normally I just shape my burgers, as you saw in my video the other day. I figured, let me see about having a little bit of convenience. So for this convenience, for the patties, it's $10.69. And the total quantity of it is 3 pounds. So yeah, I'm paying a little bit more for having that convenience, but I'm gonna see how they do and how they taste. So as you can see on the ingredients, we have just beef listed right over here. And then the last item that I got in for myself was just some butter. It's just their Aldi brand of butter. I figure while I was there, might as well just get the butter. And we can see the ingredients simply here is just your pasteurized cream and salt. And I don't mind the salted butter. I know some like to just add their own salt to their meat and buy the unsalted, and that's fine. There was actually one other item I got at Aldi. So I started incorporating, as I said yesterday, in my BBE mustard. So I noticed they have just what the Aldi brand, what the generic mustard is for just traditional yellow mustard. And as we can see on the back, if I can get it to focus, on the back we have clean ingredients. So distilled vinegar, water, mustard seed, salt, turmeric, and paprika is what it shows on the back here. So this was not bad. This right here for the mustard was $1.09. So for the quantity of a 20 ounce, this was definitely a good bang for the buck, even compared to the fancy Walmart organic little upgraded brand that I had previously had, which is over here. So I mean, comparison of this, I definitely got more bang for my buck with that Aldi generic. So I'll see how it tastes. This one right here, I mean, it just really kind of just tasted like regular mustard. So we will see how this Aldi one does. So the next stop that I made was to Walmart. I do have it on, I already put it away in our other fridge. So because I still have a tray that I'm working on in our kitchen refrigerator, but it is a 60 count box of just your traditional white large eggs. So that currently right now for the 60 count of the white large eggs, it is, let's take a look at the receipt here, is $15.12. So that price did go down a little bit. So I have noticed it's kind of going down cents before it's going down in dollars. So I mean, it is what it is when it comes to the eggs. As I mentioned in my previous video, when it comes to that 60 count, myself as well as my family is utilizing it. So at that $15.12, I'm not going to stress it for 60 eggs. Then the last item that I got for myself at Walmart is just these Hebrew National beef franks. So when it comes to these beef franks, it might trigger some might say Applegate brand is the only clean brand that should be eaten on BBE, but you know, you do you. This brand might not be for everybody. This is the cleanest, affordable hot dog that I've came across. And then I've also seen others that are veteran BBE doers. They incorporate the same brand of Hebrew National, and they have great success. You know, I'm not just talking about in terms of weight loss on BBE, but they've also had a lot of great healing happen during BBE, even incorporating this brand of hot dogs. So as I said, it's kind of like a matter of you do you on this, but I'm going to sure incorporate it in my BBE journey because this is amazing air fried. I absolutely love air fried hot dogs. So that basically wraps it up. Obviously, my shopping trip also consisted of keto items for my family because they have been keto for the past 4 years. So I'm not going to include any of their items. This is kind of just about what I buy for myself when it comes to the BBE. So I'll go ahead and I'll put an overall total when it comes to what my total looks like for all these items that I got from Aldi and then as well as Walmart. And also when it comes to the ground beef, my family is also going to have ground beef for one of their dinners that I have meal planned for them. So even at these prices, it is definitely more than affordable. I mentioned on a previous video, we are a one income family from August when I left a very toxic job. So you are like more than preaching to the choir when you talk about savings and having a tight budget and a tight income to work with. So if I can make it work, I challenge you all. Show me your budget and I'll show you what you're working with, because this is very doable, more than actually doable. So I am going to go ahead and just show you guys what I'm having for my brunch. I have not had brunch as of yet. So it's 2:32 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and have those 3 burgers that I had from my preparation yesterday at dinner time. I made a total of 6 burgers from 2 pounds of ground beef. I had 3 for dinner last night, and I'm going to have these 3 for my brunch. And I'm going to have them with some butter and also a little bit of mustard. And I have my sparkling water. So that is what's going to wrap it up for me for brunch. So I'll go ahead and I'll update you guys when it comes to dinner. I'm not sure as of yet what I'm going to do for dinner. I actually still have from Valentine's Day, from Tuesday, I actually have still remaining 1 T-bone steak. So I might use that up and figure what to do with that. You know, obviously it is good leftovers. It's basically that theory of waste not, want not. So I'm going to definitely go ahead and use that up. That's definitely good eating. So I might figure to do something with that later on, but I will go ahead and I will update you guys later on when I have my dinner. All right, welcome back everyone. Currently right now it's 7:23, so it's kind of a repeat pattern around the time when I kind of get hungry for dinner. From when I have my late brunch. So I'm not extremely hungry, but I definitely could eat something and still try to eat early enough. So what I decided to do, as I mentioned earlier, was I'm going to use up the leftover T-bone steak that I have. I actually did these on Tuesday for Valentine's Day, so I do have still 1 that was remaining left over. So I'm going to go ahead and saute that in some butter. And I decided, because I do have some egg life wraps, I did decide this week to incorporate them. So I've already incorporated them this week already, earlier on in the week, and I did not have any issues with them at all. So I'm going to go ahead and incorporate it. Since I didn't have any negative side effects, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate it again. So I'm going to first go ahead and add some butter to this pan here. But what I was thinking of doing with the egg life wraps is to use them as a noodle, and to have it as a noodle and then just kind of have the T-bone steak on top and just kind of make it simple enough. So the reason being why I did not include the egg life wraps early on in my triple B&E, many people do, because it is the main ingredients on here. So this is just like the plain egg life wraps. And the main ingredient on here is going to be egg whites. Following ingredient is xanthan gum, and then it lists natural flavor. So because of the natural flavor, I was being cautious on whether or not the natural flavor would affect me personally. So I didn't want to start it early on in my triple B&E, only because I wanted to get the full advantage of triple B&E being a true elimination. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for the skillet to get a little bit hot with that butter. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the T-bone steak. And my pan is hot, so I do get a sizzle here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a spoon. So I'm just going to lightly warm this up. Currently right now it's at a medium well, more so on the well side. So I'm just going to allow it to heat up. I do have a pot of water boiling at the same time because I'm going to try to kind of get this all prepared at the same time. That way I don't have noodles done sitting cold and then I don't have the T-bone steak left over cooked and sitting aside and kind of just getting cold and probably tough if it just sits cold. So I'm going to use a pizza slicer to just slice the egg life wraps. I'm going to just slice them into strips. So they will slice into strips. You might just kind of have to pull them apart a little bit, but as you can see, it easily comes apart. So I'm just going to wait until I slice them all. That way I can drop them all in the water at the same time. Each of these wraps is a kind of like a different shape, so I mean you could stack them on top of one another and cut them one at a time, all together at one time, but because they're all, like, as you can see, they have their own little unique shapes to them, so I just want to slice them individually. And it doesn't take long at all to slice it individually either. And as you can see, it's still quickly just coming apart. But the pizza slicer is definitely the way to go to get this sliced. So I'm going to go in with 3 wraps is what I'm figuring to do. Because once you boil these, they are going to become a little fluffy, so they will increase in size. So I have them here. I'm going to go ahead and add them to just a pot of just hot boiling water. I'm going to go ahead and kind of give them a little help to float here. Alright, so the steak meat is done. So what I'm going to do, because I want to have this be really sauced up, so I'm going to add almost about like 2 tablespoons of butter to the steak pan. And I'm going to go ahead and just let the butter melt. I went ahead and I moved all the steak over to one side, and I just have one side with just solely the butter melting, because what I'm going to do is once these egg life wraps are done, I'm going to go ahead and add them in the pan on that buttered side. That way they can get sauce on them. And I'm just going to keep it really simple tonight. So I am going to add some salt to my steak on the side here. And if you're not restricting any seasonings, you can definitely add garlic. You could add oregano, Italian seasoning, parsley, onion powder. So you can definitely add seasonings to this. I'm just restricting myself right now to just salt with my triple B and E. All right, perfect. So my egg live wraps are at the texture that I want. So to make it easier on myself, I'm going to use a strainer to dump out the water. So here I just have a strainer, and if you can see, let me see if I can show you guys this way. So as you can see, they became very fluffy and they thickened in size. So I'm just going to toss them out here. And let me go ahead and pick one up so you guys can see. So as you can see, it became very fluffy and very noodle-like. So I'm just simply just putting it in the pan here on that butter side. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this burner here. So definitely just work it in that butter. And this literally looks like thick, like fettuccine Alfredo noodles. If you cut it a little bit thinner, it almost can be like linguine noodles. But they definitely work as a great mock noodle. All right. So this part of it is done. So I'm going to go ahead and get a plate. So I have it completely finished here. So I'm going to go ahead and plate it up. And I was thinking, because the butter did add a good amount of sauciness, but I was thinking to go in with over easy egg, because with that over easy egg, it's going to add the yolk being over easy. That's gonna be a really good sauce component to this, because the butter definitely absorbed into those noodles. So I kind of want a little bit more sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab I'm gonna go in with 2 eggs. And we're gonna go ahead and just put them in the same pan. We're not gonna worry and stress ourselves about getting another pan. We'll just do it all in one pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and allow for the whites to cook and fry a little bit. And I'm gonna do my same method, that once the whites get fried, I'm gonna go ahead and add a lid to this pan. That way we can allow it to steam and get that over easy top. So today is Friday. It is my day 48 of Triple B and E. So it definitely helps to, now that I've kind of been on this way of eating for 48 days, it's a lot more easier to get a little bit creative with your choices, cuts of meat, the types of ruminant meats you're choosing, and also your cooking methods, your different ingredients that are available to you. You know, especially if you're including egg life wraps, there's definitely a lot you can do with the egg life wraps. So it doesn't have to be boring, or it doesn't have to be something that is becoming mundane. You can definitely adapt to it being interesting. All right, so I do have the whites fried, so I'm going to go ahead and just add a lid on the top here. That way we can go ahead and get that over easy top. But this so far, I mean, it looks great. So even if you chose to eat it just like this, that would be a perfect plate right there. And if you're doing keto, you can definitely add a carb-friendly tomato sauce. You can make your own Alfredo sauce. It is very easy, very simple to make your own Alfredo sauce. And it's, in my opinion, it's cheaper because you know what's going into it. You're not wasting your money on a bottle of Alfredo sauce and having it have some wonky ingredients in it, or something that might be hidden in the natural flavorings that might hinder your weight loss journey. So I'm still here just waiting on the eggs getting over easy. But you can definitely add a sauce component. If you are doing carnivore, of course, you can add cheese. A lot of carnivores refrain from cheese. Some incorporate everything and anything that comes from an animal, even when it comes to dairy, all cheeses. So you can definitely add cheese to it. You can even make a cheese sauce. So even if you're including cheese part of your carnivore, ketovore journey, you can make a cheese sauce or even sprinkle cheese on top and have it as well with these over easy eggs. So I'm just going to give this a little look. All right, so we still have a little ways to go, but they are coming along good. I just gave the pan a little shake to build up a little bit more steam. All right, so we're almost just about there. But this is definitely going to fill me up. I'm going to definitely take my time eating this because I am not completely starving at this point. I've never gotten to the point where I was completely starving after getting my comfortably stuffed feeling from my first meal, my brunch. So it was really easy for me to become very full off of that first meal, that brunch. All right, we're almost just about there. So while I'm waiting on these eggs, I know I asked you all earlier on what your weekend plans were. Still currently we don't have anything planned. You'll see earlier in this video I shared a little shopping haul that I did. So I hope you guys all enjoy that. So that was nice and fun to be able to share. So we have tomorrow free and available, since we will not have to commit tomorrow to being a grocery shopping day. Even though, I mean, the grocery shopping, it doesn't take us very long. I want to say the only thing that takes a little bit long time is going store to store for specific sales and deals. And, you know, with the deals, you kind of get in the habit of knowing which store has a particular frequent shopped item week to week, you know, which store has the better price. All right, perfect. So we have our over easy eggs now. So they are sliding, but they are ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just top them on the side. That way you guys can still see the final result here. All right, let's go ahead and turn off this burner, and I will show you guys what our final results look like. So this is it. So it is going to be amazing once those yolks get cracked and mixed together with those egg life wraps and the leftover T-bone steak. It's going to make such a good sauce. Well, I'm going to go ahead and have my dinner while it is still hot. I hope you guys enjoyed this day 48 video. So I'm going to go ahead and eat, but I want to go ahead and end off my video as I end off all my other videos. There might have been something imperfect that happened in your day, but please remember that your dreams and your goals, they do not have limits, they do not have deadlines, and they do not have expiration dates. Let's go ahead and go onward and upward, my friends, in our journey, and let's try to do it positive. And let's go ahead and drop a comment of one positive thought about yourself. It could be a one-word thought, but I want you all to start the weekend off having a good thought about yourself. So go ahead and leave me that comment if you watch up until this point. I appreciate you all. I would appreciate if you share my channel as well as like and subscribe. And along with subscribing, make sure you go ahead and hit the bell icon for all notifications. That way you are aware of any future videos that I upload. Again, I appreciate you all. Thanks for joining me on day 48. Take care.